Long Island is one of the most diverse places in all the world. Within 2 hours of any direction, you can span our shores and visit everything from our nautical Xanadu to the widest range of cultural and agricultural activities. On Long Island, we have more people, facilities, and technology than in 21 states, which truly makes us a microcosm of all America. Long Island, you can go from shopping malls to horse stalls, to a coliseum that houses professional sporting events and theatrical performances, as well as the finest accommodations in trade and conventional facilities. All this and much, much more lies just east of the biggest apple of them all.
Everywhere you go, island is a paradise. You should get to know, you know. If you do it better, Long Island. If you want it, I know you'll get it, Long Island.
In 1622, Southold, on the North Fork of Long Island, was the first township to be settled. Today, some 360 years later, Long Island still flourishes with commerce and visitors. The day this web house was built at Greenport marked the foundations that developed our quaint lifestyle and hospitable character. And we've retained that lifestyle in the form of preservation and restoration villages. This preservation village at Orient and Long Island's restoration village at Old Bethpage reflect the cultural development and the agricultural heritage to which we are rooted. As Long Island grew, symbols of technology and progress began to emerge. In Stony Brook, a waterfall supplied enough power to operate this grist mill. This mill, at one time, provided enough paper products for the whole community. Stony Brook dates back in Long Island's history to the colonial days. Stony Brook still harbors a general store, a rural post office, and this eagle that's been flapping its wings for over 50 years. Long Island has many monuments which reflect a way of life to our many settlements. This windmill on the South Fork represents the lifestyles from our earliest Dutch settlements. The variety of towns that spot our shores are worthy of a visit because each one has its own identifiable character. Walt Whitman, the famous Long Island poet, took notice of our island. When Whitman's words reached his contemporaries, men like William Robertson Coe were attracted to Long Island. This avid horticulturalist mansion was designed by the architects of New York's Central Park. In 1918, it cost $3.7 million, and that was for the interior decoration alone. It's no wonder that a man with enough money to live anywhere in the world would choose Long Island for his home. Coe's estate now stands in the National Register of Historical Places, complete with arboretums, greenhouses, and facilities which are conducive to flora and fauna all year round. Then there's the old Rough Rider himself, Teddy Roosevelt, who lived high up on Sagamore Hill in Oyster Bay. As a sportsman and a conservationist, Long Island offered the former president everything in outdoor activities. Cornelius Vanderbilt's estate is also a sight to behold. The industrial giant's sprawling extravaganza peers over the Long Island Sound in Centerport. Its beauty epitomizes the era of Gatsby as well as symbolizing the Gold Coast. While strolling through his grounds, one can enjoy the scenic sound from what once was the fruit of his labor. An island so culturally rich and splendid could only come from a soil as equally rich and splendid. Hargrave's Vineyard in Cutchogue grows premier grapes which are used to manufacture the finest in domestic wines. And nothing tops a Long Island potato. Potato combines ramble across our farmlands, covering over 27,000 acres that harvest over 6 million hundredweights of potatoes annually. Long Island's potato industry leads all of New York State's in production. As a matter of fact, there are more kinds of agriculture in Suffolk County than anywhere else in the Northeast. If one can really appreciate the taste of fresh vegetables, then Long Island is for you. For example, our long growing season produces the best late cauliflower in the nation. After the harvest, it's packaged and carefully inspected to become eligible for the open market. Local merchants gather and anxiously await the buy of the year at the annual cauliflower auction. After the goods are purchased, they travel the length of Long Island. beyond the miles and miles of farmlands and rolling fields, and where they end up are in the markets and roadside farm stands. There seems to be almost as many farm stands as acres of farmland. Shopping is at a premium at farm stands because they have everything that's grown on Long Island soil. Pumpkins, vegetables, apples, strawberries, flowers, sweet corn, melons, Brussels sprouts, spinach, and lettuce. Always fresh, too. Produce isn't the only natural abundance to be harvested from our soil. We also have livestock, and what better place is there for livestock than the Long Island Game Farm, where all the animals are accessible for petting and feeding. As a matter of fact, the Game Farm is the largest animal contact area in the Northeast. The SeaWorld show headlines an array of quality entertainment that amuse and dazzle audiences. If horses are your favorite, then you can pull over at any country road and see the most handsome of mares and fillies. The horse industry is becoming one of the biggest industries on Long Island. There are so many horses reared here that the breeding starts early. First, the horses are trained in poise and posture, preparing for the day when they can compete. We even had to convert a tennis court into an indoor training facility to accommodate our horses. Soon the day comes when both rider and horse grow together to a level where they peak. National and local horse shows are derived from various stables on the island, as well as producing contestants for breeding and equestrian events. Stallion recreation comes in many forms. Where else can you satisfy a steady diet of horse polo? That's right, organized competitive horse polo right here on Long Island. Polo is a unique sport, but some people like hitting a ball on a nice, rich, green, spacious golf course. With over 100 state and county parks, teeing off is never a problem. And if golf isn't your sport, then fishing might be. Almost anywhere on Long Island shores, you can find the right spot for the big catch. Many leisure days are spent on charter boats, complete with rod, reels, bait, and recreational fishermen. Charters are the easiest way of trying your hand at making the big catch. Everyone feels a little special coming ashore with a flounder, bluefish, mackerel, or even a mako shell.
It's still coming up. Whoa, look at the size of that now.
How about bicycling? There are plenty of trails, races, routes, and marathons for bicyclists of every capacity. The season starts early in May and lasts throughout the fall. Trails are almost epitomized by the new 33-mile Greenbelt hiking trail that winds from the Great South Bay to the Wading River on the North Shore. This trail, the newest on Long Island, is a challenge to any hiker of any season. And what would the fall be without a hayride? These old-fashioned horse-drawn carts cut through the Long Island countryside, allowing families to sit together and enjoy the afternoon in the fall. Fall would not be the same without pumpkins. Yes, pumpkins on Long Island usually mean fields full of ripe, homegrown pumpkins where you can walk right out and choose the one that's perfect for you. The Long Island Fair has everything: games, exhibits, and parades. And it's where village people dress up in authentic costumes and recreate the aura and distinction that first classified Long Island as a place of natural abundance. Under Midwestern skies, Long Island could appear to be right out of the Old West. These festivities are paramount to bringing Long Islanders as close to their heritage as possible. This heritage is intangible and is passed on to future generations by many such enactments as the Long Island Fair. Festivities don't stop there, however. The Millneck Apple Festival enables families to picnic in the autumn air while bushels of apples are carted away. Winter is next on Long Island, and with it comes the nation's fastest-growing sport, cross-country skiing. Fall and summer naturalists are putting on ski boots and touring Long Island's countryside. Ski trails wind through our hillsides, bringing additional recreational diversity to an island so multifaceted that you could almost please all of the people, all of the time. Downhill skiing is another reason why. During winters, one does not have to travel far to enjoy the thrill of skiing on fresh powder. All one has to do is go to the Farming Vale Ski Bowl, literally one of Long Island's highest peaks of recreation. And on Long Island, one could see perhaps the most exciting sport in all the world, ice boating. The interesting thing about ice boating is, aside from the fact that most people have never seen it, they also don't know where it is or where to find it. Well, the fastest sport of all seasons speeds across frozen lakes on the island's east end. Ice is a major ingredient in many winter activities. Its abundance and accessibility allows Long Islanders to perform in style. And style is what the New York Islanders have. In recent years, they have been recognized as one of the premier teams in hockey. Their vigorous approach to a stimulating sport is recognized by Long Islanders as having a quality with which they can identify. The Coliseum looks terrific when the Islanders play here, but the place is so versatile and so expansive that one could visit for the circus, international table tennis, the ballet, the recreation expo, indoor soccer, the trade shows, and of course, rock and roll concerts. In essence, there is so much quality nightly entertainment on Long Island that it's virtually impossible to see it all. For example, we also have speed car racing at 4 major circuits: Freeport, Bridgehampton, Islip, and Riverhead. They have always been a foothold in Long Island entertainment. Let's switch gears and start the excitement over again, this time at the capital of Long Island harness racing, Roosevelt Racetrack, where horses strive for excellence, bringing with them excitement, competition, and entertainment that rivals any in the world. Long Island's diverse nature and her abundant resources make her somewhat undefinable. However, Long Island can best be described as a microcosm of all America, a perfect place to live, work, and play.